spoilers within. You've been warned, Chronicler.
Hello and welcome back to Tyranny. Let's continue where we left off, shall we? Alright, first off, it looks like both Barrack and Verse want to speak with us, so let's do that.
You look as if you have something on your mind. By all means. What can I do for you?
I'd like to know more about you. I'm in the line your enemies cannot cross, although details are meaningless, but I suspect you have some thirst for details, so ask away. You seek the trade of war, or did you find it? Both, I suppose. Fighting was my blood, and this favor offered me a chance to use my skills to bring peace. Otherwise, I would have wound up some brigand or an enforcer to a crooked merchant. Alright. You think Ash and his legion bring peace? That's cute. Doesn't hold water from where I'm standing, big guy. I've seen them spill as much blood as any chorus gang. You're clearly too busy sacking villages and stealing crops to notice how proper army conducts a war. We so order, not discord. I could probably gain favor with one of them right here, but I'll just say shush your faces, basically. Silence, minions! Oh, loyalty with Verse and fear with Barrack. Okay. May I continue my story, or do you plan on interrupting again? Barrack waits for Verse. Wait until Verse makes a rude, dismissive wave before continuing. The disfavored need recruits in anticipation of the march south. They offered to care for my mother and brother as long as I stayed with the Legion, which is a better guarantee than you'll find anywhere else. Yeah? It's kind of funny, he's got all these melted, like, pieces of metal and forged onto his body, essentially. He's like a walking Game of Thrones. Right? Yeah, because, you know, throne with all the melted blades. You know what I'm talking about. Don't look at me like that. You understood. You got the reference. I was an elite fighter for most concerned, though still green by disfavored standards. Luckily for everyone, my skills improved under the Iron Marshal's rigorous training. Barrack is a shortening of my northern surname, which was passed down through the generations since Let's try this again. Since Graven Ash assembled his army. I go by it because I wear it with pride. Proper form of it is Barraconin. Barraconin? Okay.
It is a symbol of Kyros' will, one that I am not likely to forget. I found this armor. Perhaps it would be better to say that it found me during the Edict of Storms.
I proclaimed the edict. Where were you when it struck? I was in a field. Even though I knew that the people of Starwater would receive no warning, duty compelled me to march on the stronghold in the heart of the realm. There was an important work left unfinished. Our march was a hasty one. A cohort of disfavored soldiers had vanished in the second year of the war, hiding among them the daughter of Graven Ash. After a long silence, we learned she was being held in the fortress of Sentinel Stand. Go on. As we surrounded the citadel, we heard opening peals of thunder. As did the scout. I was busy trying to kill, and the winds hit like an avalanche. Many of us begged Kyros for deliverance. What else were we to do? The winds knocked the legs of our offense out from under us. All the decorated officers and I brought the battle to where we swept up and dashed to pieces, their armor, their bodies mixing the dirt of a tornado that spun in maddening revolutions. A piece of the citadel wall broke off and nearly crushed my skull. I only remember a few scattered moments from the storm, like the flying bits of bronze and iron cutting my flesh, severed limbs of falling soldiers tumbling through the air. Ooh, that's a little rough, right? Eventually I woke up, thinking myself trapped under rubble. When I rose, I felt like I was buckling under my own weight. That's when I realized I was struck, right? And truly stuck inside this heap of scrap. Okay. Yeah, how do you repair yourself? Try to keep the surface oil to slow the spreading of rust. I bend the plates from time to time, but repairs? Maintenance? No. Looks like solid protection. That'd be an understatement. It only protected me from foolish questions. Okay. Oh, okay. Are you interested in a sparring session? Show me how Northern would impale a wild boar. I heard that Ash has an immutable sword fighting technique. So this would be like javelin probably, and this is one-handed swords or something. Let's find out. Oh, okay. Insufficient reputation. All right. All right. Perhaps later. We'll talk later. Let's talk to...
Fatebinder. Always a pleasure. What do you need?
Learn a thing or two about fighting. Care to duel?
That would be an understatement, and I thought you'd never ask. Since you're obviously at a huge disadvantage, I'll let you pick our weapon of choice.
Oh, dual wielding.
Exotic. Good choice. I'll leave you to guess which one is my dominant hand.
Nice. In 5 dual wield ranks.
You held your own.
Alright, now let's talk to this guy. Fifth Eye. Remember, he's in charge of this contingent of Scarlet Crusade. The Tunon Binder arrives! Squealing like a teenager's timber, the Fifth Eye's voice makes your gums itch and your fingernails feel in need of a trim. And we just finished having a bit of sport with some captives. But worry not, we'll have more fun with another batch momentarily. Now that you've issued this edict and doomed us all to die, have you come to help us climb out of this hole? Let's see. We're not here to follow every order. But we all need to help. We all need to work together to stop this edict. Yeah, let's say that. But of course, your Tunon's concubine, not mine. I envy your long leash and hope you will grace us with your prowess. If only to set an example for the rabble. We know the Oathbreakers aren't forced in the citadel beneath the mountain spire, but we've learned this is not their only nest. Fifth Eye raises his hand in the air with a high-pitched squeal of displeasure. Given their pattern of attacks, they must have a second group maintaining a camp here in the Outer Valley. Unless we deal with this second group, they'll attack us from behind the moment we cross the river. You have a large force, and all these weeks, you've let the enemy move freely through the valley? Yeah, let's say that. I'm hurt! Insults, manners, or maturity. Do not insinuate I sit here when there's blood to be shed. We've dealt with countless Oathbreakers, but one group remains at large despite our best efforts. Captain Pollux' crew consistently evades or kills our own gangs. Alright, let's see. The last group of scouts returned with a new batch of prisoners, and one of these prisoners proclaims she can lead us to Vendrian's guard's secret camp. Though there's some shreds of deception in her voice. I could use help questioning this very kill. Perhaps we'll get less screams and tears and more useful information out of her. If we knew where to ambush the Oathbreakers, we could take her captain, show him the wisdom of joining the chorus. Alright, I'll talk to the prisoner, that's fine.
Right.
Stuff to loot. We'll have to go around and loot everything. Loot's important. Loot's important. Please, someone! I wished to bow before the voices of Nerat. I thought all could find redemption in the chorus. A woman in makeshift armor of the Vendrian Guard lurches forward in agony. Her soiled, trembling legs suggest she's been forced to stand for days. Oh, that's nasty. This one was hollering earlier that she knows the location of the Vendrian Guard encampment, but she isn't being entirely honest. I told this thing I wanted to guarantee I'd live. I'd be welcomed into the chorus as a captain, and then I'll talk. Otherwise, just kill me once I've opened up. I was dumb enough to join with the Vendrian Guard. I'm not dumb enough to give away my bargaining bronze. Alright, so let's see here. You claim you would disavow your people for the Scarlet Chorus. Why the change of heart? No, why should I trust the words of an Oathbreaker? I suppose I have no answer for that. When I joined the Vendrian Guard, I accepted their broken vow onto myself. Have you not felt passion for a foolish cause? One you later came to regret? Well, my surrender is sincere, and while I'm willing to bow before the voices of Nerat to prove it. I heard the chorus is looking for Captain Pollux Florian and his crew. I can lead you to them, but only if you release me. Okay, so we can, use athletics. As someone said in the comments, we could do a couple backflips to intimidate her. Which is not what it means, but I thought that comment was funny. Let's see. Or subterfuge. You're lying. Why don't you tell me actually, no. Yeah, we'll try using, like, English. We'll try that. You're lying. Why don't you tell me what you actually know? And I'll see about saving you. Yeah, that sounds good. We'll go with that. Well, you see, so I don't know exactly where the rest of the crew is, but I could tell you. Search that one. She reaches up with her right leg and points her foot, calling attention to a nearby pile of corpses. The tall one's missing most of his face. Check his left boot. He was the literate one of our crew. He had the orders. With a snap of the fingers, a pair of corpsmen yank the boot off a fallen guardsman. Roll of parchment slides out of the boot and is thrust into Fifth Eye's hands. He unfurls the scroll to give it a read. It's nonsense, a mash of words. Oh, she said she had the information. She gives us this garbage? Slay this wench for wasting our time. Snaps his finger at the nearby Scarlet Fury, who promptly snatches a long knife from her belt. You know, I heard her say she'd swear fealty to the voices of Nerat. Initiation rite would be in order. Well, seeing as you're an expert on the subject of fate, I'll entertain your wisdom on the matter. What then would you propose we do with her? Let's see. Test her loyalty. Sending her back as an agent. Wasting a good... Oh, let's send her back as an agent. Yeah. Send her back as our agent. When the time comes, she will aid us, or we will track down her kin. I will need to think of a good explanation for my escape, but I'm certain I can return and avoid suspicion. Thank you. You will not regret this act of mercy. Yeah, well, we'll find out. I don't know. This will end amusingly for the Vendrian Guard. Would be smart to assume she only escaped our whims. You there! Release our newest recruit. She has orders to infiltrate the Oathbreakers. See that she is escorted to the river's edge. I will return to the Vendrian Guard. Act well my part and await further instructions from the chorus. Alright. Well, we'll just see about that, lady. We're no closer to finding the Oathbreaker's position. Not with this cryptic mess. She promised us answers, all we gave us was a gibberish.
Sorry to interrupt, but I highly doubt it's gibberish. More likely, it's one of the local scripts.
The voice comes from another prisoner up next to Varia. An older gentleman with the quills, ink vials, and parchment scrolls one finds in the sages of school of ink and quill. Ink smudges cover his cheeks, temples, and ears. His clothes appear charred, and between the rips of fabric you spot burn scars along his arm. Despite the emaciated and tied to a post, he offers a beaming smile. I'll just read the parchment myself, thank you. Unroll the parchment to see that it is a modest length written with professional, albeit hastily, penmanship. The tearsmen speak of canto just like the northerners. You have half a dozen ways of writing it. This particular script is unknown to me. Oh, alright. Alright, can you read this?
Let me see. I can't... I don't know exactly what it says, but I'm half certain that's Sage Selwyn's handwriting. I'm sure I could decipher that in a few hours' time. Don't need my hands free, but I think better when not tied to a post. I know, I'm weird that way.
A few hours? You can either read it or you cannot. What use is a sage that doesn't know his letters? I've heard all I need to hear. I say we have some fun with this one. Yeah, but, Your life depends on translating this scroll now.
I would love to help. I just need some time. That's written in another sage's shorthand. I'd have to sit down with it, or better yet, compare it to a piece of his writing I have stashed on me somewhere. If I sat down with it while sufficiently sober, it's highly probable I'd figure it out.
Highly probable.
Sober? Since when do we share the good stuff with the prisoners?
Oh, nobody shared. Right before I was taken prisoner, I imbibed several vials of reagents. I wanted to be numb and disconnected when my captors used me for carnal catharsis. It's made these last few days tied to a post almost enjoyable.
Oh, it can't hurt to give him a few hours. You read the edict. I don't need to tell you the Sundial's working against us. This addled old bag is just trying to stall us. Yeah, the voices of Narat will be upset to know that you squandered a source of enemy intelligence. How true. Then we shan't put him to waste. We'll serve him the most riveting source of amusement as we can put him on trial.
Fatebinder, I beseech you, be my advocate for this trial. I'm no fool. I know the chorus uses blood, not words, to settle these matters. But you are a servant of the Archon of Justice, are you not?
Oh, fine, but I'll be his champion. This one needs to live.
Good. I like it when Tunon's puppies get their paws dirty.
I wouldn't mind taking a...